Bit of a sell-off on BTC today, but it is dropping into our bull zone, and we might be around the corner from some kind of short-term bounce. So, guys, we got to be ready, because if we hit the zone now, we got to be prepped on these altcoins. Got to be good to go. Let's go. Always hit that like, hit the bell, and hit the subscribe. I went a little bit red today because we have been a little bit red today. I think it was fair, and I didn't know, but guess who pitched up in his red gear today?
So I came prepared.
He came. Are you inverse sending the market down to pump it? Or what is the plan with the
Yeah,
red?
I'm hoping this is inverse, that we can bounce now. Enough dumping. Yeah,
Okay,
I think we should be bouncing soon enough. Let's see if it works. Reverse psychology again.
There we go, guys. I did the same. I went some red here. I thought maybe we can get a bounce. So what I'm seeing at the moment is that bull zone I gave you for Bitcoin yesterday, 104 to 103. We are now in that zone. So this is the area where I typically want to see a bounce and a new high on BTC. So that would be our dream scenario. Alt will pump nicely. If we are dropping down one more level, I'm going to take you through the plan. Exactly, 𝗫𝗊𝗫. Enough dumping already. I agree. Unless your name is Uniswap or Aero, which absolutely exploded off that bull zone yesterday to the point where I actually closed that trade. It pumped so hard. So I'm fully out of that Aero. Uni, there is news. I have longed the top of Uni to, I'm sure, James's delight. So we're going to take a look and see if I'm going to get liquidated on Uni. I am still sitting short XRP. I'm thoroughly enjoying that at the moment, and we will cover that in detail, and we will laugh and laugh and laugh, I'm sure. Okay, let's go. BTC on the 2 hour. So this is what we were looking for yesterday. We did get a little bit more pumpage than I wanted yesterday. I mean, they really did send us into this 107K. They were quite aggressive, cleaned out a lot of guys, and now they've dropped it back down into what is our first bull zone. So why do I like this zone? The bull zone typically for me is an area where there's a 0.5, a VWAP, and a 382, and quite often that gives you a new high on the BTC price. The 618, which is lower down, is typically the zone where you get lower highs after some of these moves that I've been tracking. So right now we are in the bull zone. I do want to see some kind of bounce here. We are at the bottom level, this 103K, and you can see my oscillator on the 2 hour is not quite there. So there is potentially a little bit more of a drop. Let's look at our one, because that is always a big teller for us here. Let's see if we've got something. Give us something here. Give us something nice. Okay, the one looks pretty similar to the two at the moment. So immediately at this type of zone, we acknowledge, cool, this is the bull zone. I have started adding to my BTC long, and I am looking for a bounce. What if we don't bounce? Well, where's the next reaction zone? So for me, a simple game plan. You bang out your 618, your 786, and you look for the two zones that have the most confluence. And with the oscillators where they are at the moment, you've got to assume that one of these zones is going to give you quite a nice strong bounce on BTC, and hopefully a nice strong bounce for the rest of the market. So we are pretty close to these reversals on these oscillators. It's just now a matter of time to get these things to play out for us. There they are. Let's pull this one up again, and I've written here close to reversal. So we are around the corner, and remember, we're looking for something along these lines. We want to see an oversold print, or we want to see a reversal arrow, something along those lines that tells us that we might be ready to start tracking back to the upside. Okay, so we're going to watch these levels here. The VWAP from the lows is at 102,860. We've got the zone locked in. If we lose this level, guys, right now on the show, 102,300 and 101K. These are the big ones for me that we are paying attention to. Now, if we don't bounce, cut it off, says PMG. I 100% agree. And Sniper Dave said, I said it last week, we get alt season when the tariff checks are cut. Uncle Don owes us. I agree. He must pump this market. In fact, he must pump it hard. I think I've got a special tweet from this man here. Let's take a look here. Let's see what I've got floating around here. Let's go. Where's our stuff? Okay, we go for lickies here. 422. I'd say getting kind of used to 400 million. It feels like the new normal. Not too long ago, James and I were rolling our eyes at 60 million, 80 million on a regular Tuesday, and now we're getting 400 million. So things are definitely hotting up at the moment for us. And who feels like this? Because this is essentially my life. When my eyes are closed in bed, when I'm in the shower, when I'm looking at the clouds, all I see is trade setups. All I see is patterns. James, are you like that? Do you live in this weird world?
Everywhere. Driving down the road, see some mountains, and you see the double top there. And
bullish or bearish. I see the signs all over the place. Guys, let me know who feels like this. I literally, when I close my eyes at night, I dream about these types of things. And then obviously now Uncle Donald just reminding all of us, he says, your technical analysis is no match for my tweets. And exactly what Dave was saying over there. We basically relying on this man to pump our bags at the moment. And he gave us some hopium with his stimmy checks the other day, and he's now talking about the tariff situation, because remember, there's now a court case going on about ending the tariffs, and he's basically saying if he has to pay back the tariffs, there's going to be a $2 trillion problem. Okay, and I mean,
that's been updated. He's now saying 3 trillion. Actually, that just changed.
Oh, he just pumped up the numbers a little bit.
An extra trillion.
Okay, so he's added on an extra trillion just for good measure, just for a little bit of drama. But obviously, guys, this will be a major issue, because all these tariff things have all been dealt with mentally. It's all been priced in, all these types of things. So no doubt, if that is a ruling come later in 2026, because they have till 2026 to do this ruling, if that is the case, we're going to get a hiding. Okay, so let's hope it's not. Unless obviously we like 𝗏𝗶𝗴 and we're sitting short in NVIDIA and Palantir and those types of things. Giovanni is calling 108, sir. I would absolutely love that. Now the government shutdown, as we all know, this is now coming to an end. And it's supposed to be Wednesday, but according to the votes now, they're talking about Thursday. Okay, so that's the latest situation with this situation resolving itself. Anything else we need to know about this?
No, that's it. Is because there was a vote yesterday. The Senate's officially passed it. It has to go to the House for their final vote. So long as that passes, it goes to Trump's desk. He signs it, and yeah, it looks like Thursday. And it may be just in time, because tentatively on the schedule we have CPIs to be out Thursday and PPI on Friday. If this passes before then we should actually get the data. So that'll be interesting for the end of the week.
Every shutdown ends the same way. Reopen the spending, rebrand the debt, repeat the story. There we go. Okay, that's a nice comment. Now, the S&P seems to have shrugged everything off here at the moment, and we saw that yesterday. We saw the market moving really nicely, and obviously loving the fact that the shutdown is now coming to an end. Go figure. They pumped it on the shutdown. Now they're pumping it at the end of the shutdown. Can these guys make up their minds? Right now, we might just see a lower high coming into play for us on the S&P. That is obviously notable. And if we do reject here, you're going to see things like Apple, NVIDIA, Palantir, all these types of things also printing lower highs and then starting to roll over. So that is obviously an issue. And 𝗏𝗶𝗴, and I love the fact that everyone thinks 𝗏𝗶𝗴 is Christian Bale now. I mean, literally, like every single time. I couldn't even tell you what 𝗏𝗶𝗴 really looks like. This is the man I picture every single time. But he's basically saying Oracle and Meta are inflating their profits, and they're playing games with depreciation amounts, and they're making their stuff look a little bit better than maybe it should. Okay, and now maybe he's a little bit salty because his shorts haven't played out yet, or maybe the man has got a point. We know the man does his research, so I wouldn't say he's wrong under these circumstances. Anyway, again, very important days. What was that comment there, James? Very important day. Yes, guys, it's another critical day in the market as usual. Okay, the most critical day until tomorrow, and I would love a Christmas gift, even if they can send hype to what, 60, 70, something like that. I think that would be nice. TrendSpider says, moral of the story, when Apple lags the S&P 500, it doesn't last long. Okay, so now what we have seen is we've seen the S&P 500 start rolling over, and I think what he's trying to say is that Apple needs to follow suit and start rolling over. So when you look at this situation, we can see Apple's been an absolute beast over the last couple of weeks, and for me, again, it's like trying to pick when to short this thing. I tried it on Microsoft. I tried it on the S&P. I tried it on a couple of others, and all they did was keep grinding higher, printing divergence, and just keep grinding. These guys just continuously buy these stocks up. So what I see at the moment is the opportunities for us. We sit back and wait, like we did with Palantir the other day, MicroStrategy, a couple of others. We sit back and wait. When you eventually get the sell-off, you no doubt hit a certain level that all these guys come in and they start buying. So if we do get the opportunity, 260 on Apple, 252, these are buys. We saw beautiful pumps yesterday on things like Palantir off some good zones, and I have no doubt when Apple rolls over, we're going to get these buys locked in. Okay, and now remember, we can do it on BTCC and we can do it on BitGet now because they are offering stocks as well. Okay, so we got lots of choices here, but Palantir, as you guys know, I'm fully out of this one. Yesterday, I had to make a call, and I said, close Palantir or leave MicroStrategy open. And now I don't know, guys. I mean, MicroStrategy's red now after going a little bit green, and I literally need a Bitcoin market pump. I need a crypto market pump to get me out of this hole on MicroStrategy. So hopefully we do get what we need, and hopefully that wasn't the death cross pump. James, was this the death cross pump? Is it done? Are we done?
I mean, it's usually right into the cross. We haven't got to the cross, so we should get one more push into it and then maybe dump. So maybe a nice little push to that 108 or 112 even, and then send us straight to hell.
I mean, is it unfair to think that we're done already? I mean, we wanted the pump into the zone. So, guys, for me, the plan remains 1095 into this 112, 113 region. This is the big rejection zone. If we reject hard in that area, the death crosses comes into play, and we are chasing 94K. We are chasing 88K. It's just a matter of time. Okay, so, and it's nothing to be upset about. It's nothing to be stressed about. Remember, you're watching the show, you're tracking these levels every single day with me. We get to short XRP twice a week at the very least, and we also get tons of bounces along the way. So for me, it's not the end of the world. It just means I know I have clear levels where we can long the shit out of Bitcoin if it does fall over, and the rest of the market. Okay, so it's absolutely nothing to worry about. James says James has his death cross shirt. We need that. James needs that. Exactly. That'll be a beauty. Okay, so guys, right now, looking for the plan to play out, getting a little bit desperados. We need our bull zone to trigger. You can see here it is. It's trying very hard. Okay, they're giving us a little green candle here at the moment, but you have your backup zones. You know the plan. Okay, and Mia says trade the direction, no matter if it's long or short. Somebody's been spending way too much time in the Chart Hackers Discord, I'm guessing. And nice to see Mia knows the rules. Okay, I think we go back to monthly open 109.6. Then big, yes, happy. Look at the confluence at that monthly open as well. There's such a beautiful rejection zone up there. Look at this thing. It's the 200-day moving average. It's a macro 382. Look at how everything is tying in so nicely. Crypto Dog says short ZEC. Look, I'm currently in a bounce long from this morning. We can look and we can see. I think, my suspicions yesterday was that the ZEC trade might actually be over and we might have to be moving on. So let's get into that now. So guys, what you're going to see from me in the next couple of minutes is a little assessment on dominance, things like that. We're going to talk ETH, SOL, higher timeframes. And then I've got a ton of altcoins for you. I've even got Aster thrown in here. I've got Aero for you. I've got Pump. I've got Hype. We're talking about Uni. There's big news on Uni today, and we're gonna make sure you guys are covered and that you've got good zones to play with as well. Now, Bitcoin dominance, you can see we are in our alt danger zone. So the alts have been okay today relative to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been rolling over. We've had red dominance, which means the alts have been okay. I mean, they haven't been shooting the lights out, like Hyperliquid, for example, which I'm going to cover. I'm very salty about that. But right now, we're sitting on this bounce zone, 59.8%. If we do start bouncing here, this means Bitcoin outperforms the alts, and the alts potentially start dropping. Okay, so where do we look for longs on alts if the market starts rolling over? That is 60.4. This is the same level as yesterday, and 𝗬𝗪𝗪 obviously is running some bit funded there. Okay, that's good to see, and it's almost time for another giveaway, a bit funded giveaway. James, we need to okay,
I like
bit
that
funded giveaway tomorrow, guys. Okay, we're going to do a bit funded giveaway for you guys tomorrow. Make sure you are tuned in, and we're going to give away 5 tomorrow. Okay, so Bitcoin dominance, guys, remember, green candle is bad for altcoins. Red candle is good. Okay, so whenever we see red, we're happy, but right now it makes sense. We are on support, and that means we could bounce. Now, USDT dominance, I was saying here earlier to the Chart Hackers Discord, really blowing on some hopium over here. I was saying, wouldn't it be nice if we could get a bounce here or a rejection on USDT dominance in that yellow zone, and then drop back to the downside? That's obviously going to pump the market. You can see now we've actually broken through resistance, and what this means is that we need to treat that old resistance as support now for possibly a bigger move to the upside. So something that we need to watch. Obviously, we've got a lot of markers, a lot of parameters that we're watching here at the moment, but obviously USDT dominance breaking through resistance is not really good for the market. That is quite bearish for the market as a whole. So best this thing reverses as soon as possible. And you can see if it does reverse, just look for a small little pump on some of these alts, and then we reassess what is going on. So 5.26 is the big one for me. Let's see if we drop into 5.26. Let's see if we bounce on that zone. That could be a TP zone for some of the short-term little pumps that we might see today. And Desert Fox says, fuck this shit. Break out the chicken. Only Jeff. We need Jeff. We need Jeff back. We need Jeff back. I should actually bring him more often. It's actually a crime. I should bring him a lot more. Okay, 4-hour RSI heat map. What do we got? The big one today for me is Velodrome. That thing is doing well. We can see ALCH cooking Siren. I wasn't happy with the Siren chart. So what I did was I've taken out Velodrome for you guys. I've got a possible DGen casino short for you guys cooking at the moment. So what I like to see is the explosion. I like to see the explosion after a wick. I want to see that final squeeze in the market. And what I've got my eyes on at the moment is the 786 fib at 5861. So if we get an explosive move on this Velodrome, 5861, anywhere in that box for me. So it's up to 62 and from say 58, anywhere in that box. Look for some kind of rejection there. Look for some kind of shitcoin casino short. Right now, you can see there's pressure on the 200-day MA, and I want to see that explosion. I want to see that pop through that region. That is the most, or that's the best looking macro zone for me, that 586. It's a 786. It's an undercarriage as well. There's an order block up there, so I would suspect that we get a little bit tired in that type of region. So if you want to play the shitcoin casino, remember the rules. You go very small size, you go very low leverage, and you give it tons of breathing room. You let this thing breathe up 10% if it has to, because remember, we're looking for that rejection that gives us about a 20 to 30% dump when they do. Okay, and Vegeta says, where is Trader J today? Trader J is coming to meet us all in Amsterdam. We're having the hackers get together. So those of you that are in Amsterdam on Friday night, we've booked a venue. Come and hang out with us. The details are in the Chart Hackers Discord. We will be there, and we'll see you, okay? Only asking because I am too. Sounds like a D. Mabut? Mabut? Is that a clue for you, Werner? Mabut? Okay, let's go. Let's talk ETH, okay? James doesn't even know what my boot is. He's like, why is he talking about a boot of his car? What's he putting in his boot? James, a boot is my brother. He gets it now. Okay, the Bitcoin OG continues to increase their ETH 5x long position. Now, look, the guy is $194 million long. His entry is 3468. His lickies, which is obviously what I'm watching because this determines the size of a man's balls, is 2,840. So he's actually got a lot of breathing room. He's got time for a little bear market. He's got time for all of these things, and his lickies is quite low. But I can tell you what, he's going to be very grumpy at the dogs and the wife come 2,950 on that weekend when it happens. So let's hope it doesn't happen for him, and let's see if he can get his wish. Now, what is his wish? I hope it's above 3,800 for everybody's sake, but we can see 3,800 is quite a big danger zone on ETH at the moment. So guys, same plan as BTC. If we get that second wind on Bitcoin into that region we spoke about, the death cross, all those scary things, 3,800 on ETH, that is still the exit zone. That is still the big one for me. And if we blow through that, we have a new bullish discussion. We hit the bullhorn, we get happy, we do what we need to do. But right now, that is going to be a beautiful TP zone for anyone that is still long on alts and anybody that is still long, especially on ETH. Now, similar story, ETH versus BTC. And this is an interesting one as well. We can see we've had a nice bounce on ETH versus Bitcoin, and you can see there might be a little bit of an extension still, but what is obviously concerning for me is the possibility that we get a little dip now on ETH versus BTC, and that could potentially give us some kind of double bottom play, something like that, and this will come with some altcoin pain, and I wonder if that happens, if our friend over here is going to be shouting at the dogs on that weekend. James, 2,900 ETH, and you in a $194 million position. How are you behaving that evening? Are you sleeping
sweating?
That much?
Sweating, yeah, and you're gonna need some extra undies, I think, too.
I mean,
that will be pretty.
It's a big size, and it's always the funny thing about this stuff is like, and I'm sure everybody watching the show, especially if you're a leverage trader, you've all done this. Okay, I've all done this. We've all done this. You open a trade. because you're feeling like, yeah, the market's good and I'm on low leverage, and don't worry, I'm not going to get liquidated. It's totally fine. It's so far down. And you come back 3 days later and you're like, fuck me, it's down 10%. Maybe I didn't need to be so aggressive. And then it drops another 10%, and then you start feeling the pressure, and then you start saying, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Maybe not.
So it's such a rough one. It's such a rough one. Okay, so hopefully this man doesn't need to go through it, or this woman, who knows. Okay, let's talk Solana again, higher time frame. And Snoop says, is Injective still relevant? Is it still a relevant token? I don't know. I think I'm still long. Hopefully I'm not liquidated. Let's see. I might have actually been stopped out on that thing. Hold on. Yeah, I've only got the short running here. My long got stopped out. Okay, well, I've got the chart. If we got time, I'm going to cover this one. But I've got a mixed bag at the moment, and it's actually not nice when the shorts are green and I'm net long. It's not a good look, because it means obviously my longs are getting a little bit pasted here at the moment. Okay, let's go. Let's talk Sol. So just higher time frame here for you guys. After 10:10, I don't say it's, yeah, exactly. I mean, once you've been liquidated a couple of times with these flush out candles, nothing is far away enough. I mean, I got an absolute hiding on Solana. I was max buying Sol at like 170, and they liquidated me all the way to 142, or what it was. Dupes called 3K this morning. Is he sending us to zero? I mean, I hope he's calling low numbers on XRP as well. Now, let's talk Sol. So Sol's an underperformer today, and you can see it's just rejected off the daily fib. Look at that 168.5. That was our big rejection zone there. We pumped into that. Albert, don't even get me started, bro. We pumped into that 168.5. Nice rejection, and now really it's down to, for me on Sol, 155 needs to come into play here. So let's look at 155 as our first big line of support. You can see why it makes sense. Okay, so if you go into lower time frames, you'll find order blocks here, you'll find all these things. So 155 is zone number one for me on Sol, and then a little bit lower down, guys, you got to look at the lows. That is 145 that you're going to be watching. So these are your reasonable higher time frame levels for Sol at the moment, and I don't love the fact that it's getting so abused right now. I mean, do you think it's possible it has something to do with Asta, and that's doing so nicely and shit like that? I don't know. Anyway, it's a bit of a weird one to see it getting absolutely smashed. So let's just cover a couple of things here. The Bitcoin long, it's touch and go, guys. It's literally touch and go at the moment on this BTC. I'm 131k long at the moment, so best this thing actually starts pumping before I get grumpy. Zcash long from earlier today, it's like it's up down. At one point this was 300-400 up, it's now 140, so that's not great. Got an ETH hedge play running here. Injective 𝗨𝗏, yesterday it hit the zone, gave a nice bounce, nice round trip, love that. Sui ETH Classic, no reason to change that one at the moment. Let's see what else we got here. Virtual's on a possible bounce zone right now, and Hyperliquid really I'm so offended by hype at the moment. I'm actually so annoyed. We're going to talk about it now. Boss, how low can Sol go? 155, 145, sir. Look for those bounces. After that, well, I'll see you at 130 and talk shit about Jerome Powell. I mean, but that's it, really, at those types of levels. Now, what's the big news today? The big news today is Chinese layer 1. Chinese layer 2 is CFX, Maruk, something like that. And they keep pivoting. Remember, if your layer 1 sucks, you just pivot and you call it something else, and then it pumps again. Okay. Okay, everyone's digressing me. Can you please stop talking to me? I'm trying to run a show here. I've got Mia shouting Filecoin at me. It's coming. Okay, it's all coming. Please stop shouting Sui at me, bro. It's coming. Okay. I'm trying to do a show. Okay. Uniswap. What's the big news? Uniswap saw Hyperliquid with buybacks. They saw Pump with buybacks. They saw everyone else doing buybacks. And the guy was like, well, let me propose buybacks. So all of a sudden he proposes buybacks, and now Uniswap is pumping. But the key word here is he's proposed fee switch, but the key word is proposed. It's not actually official. So it's not in theory, it shouldn't be ripping that hard just yet, because it's not even voted for. I don't even know how it works. I mean, do they vote? But I don't even know. But anyway, if this is the case, Uni's going to be well positioned in between Hyperliquid and Pump. So if this does happen, there is obviously going to be some upside, and there is going to be some bull vibes here for us on Uniswap. So anybody who was wondering today what was going on, well, I mean, you can see this thing's absolutely exploded. And I just want to give you guys a demonstration. when you see a token explode like this, it's the same as the shitcoin casino. You go back and you say, where's my macro 786? Where's a trend? Where's a horizontal? You find your big levels. Look at this on Uni. Look at this thing. We've got a trend. We've got a 786. We've got a horizontal. Bang. Okay, there's your rejection zone. Okay, so it's a very simple game to play. You just got to find your high level points of confluence in these zones, and you look for those rejections. Okay, so Uni pumps into the area. That's great on the bullish news or whatever. Maybe it's got a little bit more left in the tank. If it does, I have no doubt it will come and take out all these shorts over here. You might even get another explosion before they drop it down. So there is a possibility of more upside. Now, what have I done? Okay, what type of dumb shit have I done over here? And what I did was, well, along the top of pump, I started building my file long. I've only got one order in at the moment on Filecoin. I've got another one waiting, and I've got Uniswap, which are along the top of what looks like a possible breakout. So if we get momentum, we're obviously going to add a little bit more to this thing. But right now you can see I am flat. And the plan was, okay, well, I had two plans for you guys. Now, number one, bearing in mind that this thing might want to go again. And if you look at this thing, you start saying, okay, where are the big zones where this thing can possibly pump again if there is a sell-off? So you look at a couple of markers, and then you start hunting for some big areas. And the first zone for me that I want to point out is got to be this 8.17. You can see our VWAP at the moment is starting to creep higher. This thing is slowly coming up here. You've got your 200-day MA. So anything like this, bang, bang, looks like a nice move for me on Uni. So 8.178 down to 7.9. So anywhere in that box looks like a nice bounce zone. Then a little bit lower down, 7.5 into 7.2 looks like another bounce zone for Uni. Now, if the news is going to continue pumping the token, I would expect this level to hold. Like, this is a nice long zone lower down. So if we do get a sweat out here and this little breakout play that I'm in doesn't work out, these are the next two zones you want to attack. 8178 down to 79, and then it's 752 into 7255. These are your long zones on Uni. Okay, and very simple. You can see what's going on here. We've broken through a horizontal. We've banged into an undercarriage. Is that now the lower high? What happens next? Okay, so I've longed this breakout. Now I'm looking for this guy to pump. And if it doesn't, get rinsed. And then you start looking at your next areas here for your next longs. Okay, and it's a rinse and repeat system along the way. Okay, so I'm long flat here on Uni. If anyone wants to get rinsed with me, let me give you a couple of stop zones. Let me give you a couple of exit plans here. Let's just clean this up, and then we're going to just highlight a couple of things. So when you are playing these breakouts, what I tend to do is when it looks like it might break, is I nibble a little bit, then you can add a little bit on the pullback, and then you pray to the crypto gods that they come and they send this thing. Now, what you typically want to hold is your 382 and your 0.5 bull zone. Okay, so right now you can see we're just under the 382. Let's highlight the 0.5. So this is your typical region that you want to hold, and you want to hold the VWAP as well. So if you lose the VWAP, that's also a point against you. Okay, and the VWAP starts telling you, okay, maybe it's time to go down. So right now you can see in terms of the breakout zone, we're holding the VWAP, we're holding the 0.5, and we're holding the horizontal. So all is well. If we start closing under that area, then we cut and we're probably going lower, and then you start looking at those lower zones. So hopefully that makes sense for you guys. So an exit plan here is close below 866 and close below 83. Okay, both of those are reasonable exit options here for anyone trading Uni at the moment. Okay, so just be careful there. Let's talk hype. This thing is absolutely grinding my tits, James. I don't know how to explain this. We've got Uni pumping. We've got pump doing relatively well. We'll look at the chart now. We've got Aster pumping. They're all the same narrative, okay, except Hyperliquid spends today 10 hours in the bounce zone, doesn't bounce, chops around, and now they're dropping it lower. So incredibly frustrating, because I take a lot of pride. In my when entries. When I do a when entry in the Chart Hackers Discord, I demand that this thing pumps. I demand that it moves into the zone and gives us a good trade. So hype, I selected hype yesterday out of Filecoin, out of Pump, out of Aero. I chose hype because it's my banker. And now today I'm a little bit disappointed. I don't know what to say, James. I'm a little bit sad. Okay, so hopefully, I mean, we got quite a clean record on the when entry, so I'm a little bit.
We don't have a candle close though below the stop loss, so we're okay at the moment. But yeah, it's making me a bit nervous.
Give it time, okay? I'm still sitting in this hype. I'm still sitting in this hype. We've got 24 minutes left, okay? We've got 24 minutes left on hype. Let's see. So, guys, the stop loss is candle close under 39.7. Okay, so we waited a long time for this to play out. Okay, grinding my tits. Okay, so yesterday, let me just show you. Let me just give you guys an example. Like, when I dropped this thing, remember, when we drop these setups, like, everyone always thinks, like, it's not coming. And you just got to wait. Remember, these zones are like magnets. They come eventually. And the reason I like this was the 200-day MA, the VWAP, the 786, the undercarriage. There's a lot of things making sense there. And that's how I identify these hot zones. So it's a little bit disappointing that we waited, say, I don't know, 20 hours or whatever. And here we are. And hype is now bleeding me down. Okay, so the stop loss is 39.7. The risk for anyone that entered that was, what, about 1% risk, give or take. And then your backup zone, this is going to be the next possible bounce zone, is 3905. Okay, 3905, that's going to be your next potential bounce zone on this hype. Okay, so I'm still parked in this situation. Let's see. Yeah, we're still good. Okay, we're still in 24,000 long on hype at the moment. Let's see if they can give us the fundamentals we need. Okay, so that is that. 24 minutes they send it. They better send it. Okay. Now, Gum says make or break moment for pump. Shutdown is done. Stocks are ripping. Bitcoin closed above the 50, etc., etc. Is it make or break for pump? Let's take a look here at pump and let's see. A little bit of a mixed bag. At the moment, we dropped into our local bull zone. Look at that. What is our local bull zone? You hear me talk about this all the time. VWAP 0.5382. That's generally an area where you're getting some kind of bounce or at least some kind of reaction in the markets. Okay, so pump at the moment for me, 0.0042. Nice strong bounce so far. Let's see what happens after this, because yesterday was quite brutal. Look at that. Anyone that was logging the top there got absolutely rinsed yesterday. What I can see here at the moment, possible head and shoulders, something to watch. Okay, so I am sitting long here on pump at the moment. You can see I long the top. And I mean, I don't know, James, should I close this thing? It's so naff. It's so naff. It's like 90. Okay, we leave it. What else we got here? We got 𝗨𝗀𝗀𝗀 uni. Okay, we'll see. We leave it. Okay. So a little bit bearish right shoulder. Okay, guys, there's your support on pump. Let's talk Asta. This thing not manipulated at all. Okay. And I mean, I don't know what to say anymore other than tell you guys, like, market makers on Asta are fully respecting the VWAP. Okay. And what you can do is long the VWAP until you lose the VWAP. Okay, so this is Asta on the 1 hour, and these market makers are clearly using this as their target or their guide. You can see every time we drop into the VWAP on Asta, there seems to be some kind of consolidation or some kind of bounce. Okay, so look for longs on Asta until this VWAP breaks. The VWAP you can just drop from the lows there on the 4th, I think it's on the 4th of November, and it's 1.03 is going to be your current support that you want to use for Asta. And did the show time change since daylight? Yes, Matt. It's 30 minutes. It's 30 minutes early, I think, now for you guys. Yes. Oh, there you go. I mean, it magically appeared. Okay. So yeah, guys. Sorry, I know it takes a bit of getting used to the time shift and everything. It's a story. And remember, the Europeans do it like a month before the Americans, or whatever the story. Anyway, and what's up with Filecoin? I'm long. Let's see. Okay, so guys, Asta 103. This is your support. Every time this thing drops into the VWAP, have a go. Don't go massive size, because you can see these moves are quite rewarding. That's a 10% bounce there on Asta just using a VWAP, and you can see there's a nice tight range forming here as well at the moment. So if you want to have a crack at this thing, I'd say wait till it drops lower and then just look for that long. And when that VWAP fails, then you are out. Okay, and same thing goes for longs later on. If you blow through your big resistance zone, you can see here 1.17. That is a monster danger zone. So if we do blow through that, we're going to probably get some nice longs, something like that. So when they come bring it back into the range, you're probably going to get a really nice long later on Asta. Okay, so guys, remember, all these charts, they go into the Chart Hackers Discord directly after the show for you. You've got access to all of them. Let's get into 𝗨𝗀𝗀. Now, there's a halving coming up for 𝗨𝗀𝗀, And 𝗂𝗍𝗃 says, massive rally, he's projecting a massive rally leading into the halving. And then he's saying he reckons this thing's going to start rolling over 1 or 2 days before. I think that's a fair guess. I would say it pumps into the halving. I can't say 1 or 2 days before, but I agree that this thing is going to be a runner, and that is why it needs to be on our regular watch list, okay? And right now you can see, maybe it's by plan or by intent, but you can see this thing is now chopping around, and they're getting ready for a big explosion, okay? At some point, this thing is going to blow. So what you need to do is keep this on your watch list every single day, and you need to see that there is a range in play at the moment, and this might literally be a market maker strategy for the next week or 3, while they chop everyone out, they get rid of, they accumulate, whatever they want to do, and then we have an almighty explosion on 𝗬𝗯𝗨. So keep it on your watch list. I'll keep it as regular as possible on the show for you guys. Big level for me, a dip into 342, 343. I think that'll scare the shit out of a lot of people. It will flush out a lot of longs, and that could be a really nice trigger for a big upside move. Something to watch, okay? I don't think they're going to make it as easy as longing a local 618. Okay, I literally think they're going to make it higher grade, and they're going to put you under pressure, and they're going to make you earn that trade. Okay, so 𝗬𝗨, big level, 343. Let's see what happens on the day or when it gets there. Right now, what we can do is we can play local levels, we can play local zones. And remember, yesterday we had a 1 hour reversal print. What did we drop into? That reversal zone, big bang out of 𝗬𝗨, and we are here again. Okay, so we've revisited the same level as yesterday. We've got a bullish divergence print on the 1 hour. I'm still parked in a long, using this as my support. So 368. If we close under 368, then you start looking 363. That is your next reasonable zone, and then you lose that. You're looking for longs, 343, those types of levels. Okay, so there could be a few little trades in a big trade, but be aware they're probably going to try and shake everyone out before this thing gets sent. Okay, so 368, 363, 343, those are the 𝗬𝗯𝗨s that make sense to me. Now let's talk 𝗧. This was a big pumper yesterday. I told you guys we were looking for a possible dip on 𝗧, and I told you on the higher time frame it made sense that we could come back and potentially visit that 200-day moving average. So that's now what we've seen play out on 𝗧. And I said to the hackers Discord this morning, I was starting a 𝗧 position, and I'm trying to give this thing a little bit of breathing room here because I can see a high confluence support zone. Okay, and our levels for 𝗧 are 264 into 254, anywhere in that box. It's about a 3% range that you're looking at. What do I have here? 100-day MA, 200-day MA, VWAP from the lows, macro 382, beautiful horizontal, and any more downside that happens even today is probably going to print bullish divergence on the 1 hour. So things are looking quite nice at the moment for 𝗧. So number one, I've got one order in only. So if it runs, I'm a little bit light. But if it drops back down here, we're going to have orders waiting in that region, and we're going to look for that bounce. So anything from 264 into 256, 255, somewhere in that region here, there's a lot of support, a lot of confluence. If this whole narrative now with 𝗧, what is the latest narrative? Privacy narrative. So if that works on their latest pivot, then yeah, possibly a nice bounce on 𝗧. I got one order in at the moment, and I got it on Gravity, where I'm farming at the moment, and I've just got that one buy in so far. So we're gonna have to wait and see if we do get an opportunity lower down. And you can see I'm getting a little bit rinsed in SOL. I have added to SOL while this thing has fallen over, so I'm getting a little bit smoked, but kind of being patient and trying to play the game that SOL is going to hold that 155 that we just spoke about. Now 𝗧𝗏 says 𝗧 is king, and I think, yeah, I mean, it's king at the moment because they jumped onto the narrative, I guess. JR, very good question. We need to go long beard, or 100%, bro. Okay, let's talk about our favorite shitcoin at the moment, and it's XRP going to 0. Look at that, James. We opened this one yesterday. What are we doing here? We are 200% up on 50x. Okay, so that's nothing. It's a little bit embarrassing. It's 4%. It's not a 4% move. I mean, what is this? What is this 4%? But maybe it goes lower. And there's my top long on pump at the moment. Okay, I'm running these on 2-bit at the moment. So let's look at XRP, and you can see it was a good puppy. It listened very nicely, and it's now dropping. To be fair, dropping into quite a strong bounce zone. So anybody who's inclined to long XRP, I don't know why, but anybody who's inclined to look for longs on XRP, I do have a long zone for you guys. So that is going to be 238 into, you can give yourself room, 23, but I would say as a starting point, 238 into 234 looks quite nice. Alternatively, 238 into 2.3 looks like a good one as well for XRP. So you can see that's a typical take profit zone, and if it holds that area, what you're going to see playing out is this trend in play as well. There you go, bang bang. Okay, and then maybe you get a nice bounce long on XRP. Going to get James excited. He's going to be running around the house screaming. I don't know, he's going to be so happy. And maybe
That's exactly where my next buy is, by the way.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay, there you go. 238 to 230. There it is, guys. So I'm going to stay short at least until we're in that zone. And remember, the fun thing about XRP is that you can literally find a short every single day. And like, I mean, it's literally, we can have so much fun doing this. Well, James won't ban us. Exactly. Guys, remember, if James is here, don't talk shit about XRP. Okay, only 𝗲𝗏𝗏. James has hands in his pants. That's disgusting, bro. Okay, let's talk some privacy coins. Zcash. Okay, privacy. The latest narrative that makes everybody happy. So I dropped this on X earlier today as well. 2 bounce zones for me, so no changes on this one. 479 and 451. These are the 2 short-term bounce zones on ZEC, and you can see the trade might be over. Okay, we've had 2 big sell-offs now. Are the bulls going to step back in? You can see all these guys from early November are getting rinsed now. Okay, like everyone's getting chopped up here. Are they going to step in again and pump this to new highs? I'd be suspicious. Okay, so I would say short-term bounce. I would say look for DCBs, you know, dead cat bounces, things like that, and maybe some more downside on ZEC. I think this thing is getting tired. Yes, sir.
I heard KOL saying this is going to 10K though. That can't be possible.
Is it?
Oh yeah, that's what I heard. It's on Twitter. It must be true.
Look, if it's on Twitter, it most likely is true, guys.
Gotta be.
Just know the rules. It's got to be. Okay, so Zcash, guys, these are the long zones. Okay, I'm sitting in a long here. Let's see if we get a bit of action. Filecoin, there's a trade here. Okay, on Filecoin, drops into the zone 2.3. This is your 200-day MA. It's your reasonably big macro 618. You've got horizontal support here as well, and you've got the 100-day MA. So I've started my position on Filecoin. What I've got here at the moment is another order waiting a little bit lower down. Let's just get there's this thing here. There it is. Let's go Filecoin. Okay, so I'm on BitGet here, and what you can see is your orders lower down. It should be on the screen. There it is. Okay. And there's my next order, 2.31. You can see I just missed that one earlier. So I got another order waiting at 2.31 for Filecoin. And that for me would be a nice dip into the zone and hopefully some kind of decent bounce. We're looking for a dead cat bounce. It doesn't have to be a big one. We could go 15%. We could go 28%, anything like that. I'd be pretty happy with. So how do you play the stop? So for me, you got to give it breathing room. You got to allow it a little bit of space. So I would say first stop is close under 229 to be fair, 228, 229, close under one of those to be reasonable. If you lose 2.3 and you close under that stop zone, there's a likelihood that this thing can drop another 20%. So do not get married to the thing. Do not sit in this and say, oh, I don't mind if it drops lower, I'm going to add. Don't be that guy. You're going to write it down 20%. You're going to be so miserable come Thursday when Filecoin is at 185. Like, you're going to be very upset. So don't do it, okay? It's a 20% dump from here. Close under 229, 228. Exit plan for me on Filecoin. Don't get married to it. Look for a 10% move. Virtual, guys, I see you talking about it. Thank you, Mia. Virtual literally is literally following the plan from yesterday. You cannot make this shit up. Look at this, James. This is insanity. I mean, what is going on? If I ever wanted to give you guys a demonstration on how these fibs work and how things work in a downtrend, well, this is it. I mean, you can't get a better look than this. So what did we get? We dropped into the bull zone, short-term bounce. Why were we looking at a short-term bounce yesterday? Remember what we had. Remember this for next time. We had a bullish 1 hour, but our 2 hour was bearish. So we knew there was a possibility we get a 1 hour bounce, but the 2 hour still wanted to come down. Okay, so that's now is played out. Let's take a look at virtual on the 2 hour. Let's go to our 2 quickly here. Okay, 2 hours now printing bullish divergence. So that is actually looking a little bit better. So in terms of just the oscillators, that is looking nice. Now, in terms of a chart and looking at a chart, what are our risks? Okay, well, guess what? We've lost the rising trend on virtual. Okay, so what you could typically see play out now is a pump back into that zone and then possibly some more downside on this virtual. So just be aware that we might not be out of the woods just yet. Okay, if we invert the chart, you would look at this and say, oh, okay, that makes sense. That could be a nice bullish retest, and maybe we get some bounce. So now if we flip this thing back, you can see the dilemma. Okay, there's your dilemma, that it might be a short-term bounce on virtual. Okay, so virtual traders, 134 is going to be your support. Use that. If you close under 134, your next long is more than likely going to be at 127. Okay, so I just want to highlight this for you guys. 127, they should then come and take out that zone, and you'll probably have a nice long in that zone. So 127, give or take, and maybe that could be a banger. Okay, and PMG George says yes, undercarriage retrace, then short that. Dang, yeah, I mean, I agree. Did I say it in the right voice, James? Did I get it right? Okay, last one, Filecoin, 𝗏 113 local VWAP bounce. Okay, look for the VWAP there. There's a 618 here, there's a horizontal possible short-term bounce, might not be a new high, could just be a short-term bounce here. So you could see something like that and then a drop lower down on this arrow. So 1.135 looks okay to me there. And in terms of the 45 minutes, you can see it's not reset yet. So give it a little bit of time, probably another hour or two, and hopefully by then you drop into 1.135 and you get a nice long on arrow. Okay, guys, that is a wrap from me, James. Thank you.
Good luck, everyone. Let's hope for this bounce.
Okay, mini bounce. Give us a mini bounce. Okay, hopefully we don't get liquid, and then tomorrow we go and do it all over again. Okay, see you guys.